Okay. Here I am again at the Islamic Center of Middle Georgia in Clarksville, Georgia. And I guess it cut off. So what's left is the 666th mention of Allah in the Quran. The 666th verse. The 666th verse not including the Bismillahs, and (42:17). I don't know if I shared 42:17, so I'm going to share 42:17, which is 666 verses from 34:15. And we have Allahu ladhi anzala al-kitaba bil-haqqi wal-mizana wa ma yudrika la'alla sa'ata qarib. A lot of people follow a lot of different scriptures, but we should really follow the scripture that is from God. And we should know from reading the scripture some signs that prepare us for the end times. And 473 is, if you don't include the Bismillahs and say the 666th verse, we have أَوْ تَقُولُنَّ مَا أَشْرَكَ آبَاؤُنَا مِنْ قَبْلُ وَكُنَّا ذُرِّيَّةً مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ أَفَتُهْلِكُونَا بِمَا فَعَلُوا And let's not credit our ancestors with our misguidance, because we could certainly step away from the falsehood of our ancestors. And 169, if you include the Bismillahs and reach فَخَلَفَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ خَلْفٌ وَرِثُوا الْكِتَابَ يَأْخُذُونَ عَرَضَ هَذَا الْأَدْنَىٰ وَيَقُولُونَ سَيُغْفَرُ لَنَا وَإِنْ يَأْتِهِمْ عَرَضٌ مِثْلُهُ يَأْخُذُوهُ وَلَمْ يُؤْخَذْ عَلَيْهِمْ مِيثَاقُ الْكِتَابِ أَلَّا يَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْحَقَّ وَدَرَسُوا مَا فِيهِ وَالدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. So, stay away from speculation. And don't think your beliefs are going to justify you. Yes, God is forgiving, but don't go into such things. And 435 is where you have the 666th mention of Allah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين إن يكن غنيا أو فقيرا فالله أولى بهما فلا تتبعوا الهوى أن تعدلوا وإن تلووا أو تعرضوا فإن الله كان بما تعملون خبير. Our thoughts and our feelings are not so much justifications in themselves, but we're not entirely going against them just because they're our thoughts and feelings either. But we're to set an example that we're going beyond that we are following of the revelations. So I have said that 27:35 alludes to 2 Chronicles 9:13 and Kings 10:14. I've said that Surah 7, Ayat 121, Surah 26, Ayat 49, and Surah 46:18, Surah 74:18 are all verses that by themselves equal 666. 42:17 is the 666th verse from 34:15, which can relate to that. And the 666th verse mentioning God in terms of chronology, and 4,217 is the 577th prime number. I mentioned Surah 666, 66:6, 111:5, which if you count the Bismillah, we're talking, 6 times 111, 666, right? I've talked about how wasik is filthy, and that's a word that equals 666. I've talked about how 435 is the 666th mention of Allah. I have talked about how 469 or 4,173 is the 666th verse, depending on whether or not you number the Bismillahs. And so whatever number you're going to find, you're going to find various things. So don't think too bad about one number or another number, and look at, when you do find a verse or whatever that you're going to look up the number or whatever, just look at the context. But try to find a scripture that has literal meaning, hermetic meaning, sociological meaning, mystical meaning. This is what religion is. And religion, of course, starting with the family, as I mentioned in that one verse, that you guide yourselves and you try to guide your family if they so choose. And, family life is half of religion. And all of life can be made as part of religion. And hopefully this center will become sort of the guide for its entire area. And 666 is also the Camia square of the sun. 6 by 6 by 6. The numbers 1 through 36 add up to 666. And I'm focusing on these videos partially because I am 36 in the vulgar sense.